Hey guys, welcome back to 10 a Day. So for today's session, what we're going to be doing is covering footwork. Right? Footwork is one of the most important things in stand-up martial arts. You need to be able to control your distance. So we're going to practice a few different variations of footwork patterns today. The first one that we're going to do is going to be called our reverse triangle. All right? So I want you to imagine a triangle where the tip of it is pointed towards the back. That's why it's called a reverse. All right? So the pattern looks like this: feet together, foot out, together, and out. All right? So I'm bring it together, and then I step forward at this 45, and I step back, and I step forward at the other 45. Now, right now, I'm leaving one foot on the, what I call the X or the apex, right? Later on, you can move that foot off of it, right? And that's what the bigger pattern is going to look like. But for now, I just want you getting this. And then another variation of this exact same thing is just the switch step, right? So basically the exact same thing, except for it's a little bit faster and both feet move at the same time instead of one and then the other, okay? So let's go ahead and let's just practice this for 2 minutes. Ready? And begin. Together and out at that 45. Together and out. Now when I do this, I'm gonna tuck the shoulder of the rear leg towards the front, here. Imagine like a boxer does a slip. Do that with your shoulder, right? Tuck that shoulder forward, just like this. Feet together and out, together and out. And now, the angle total is gonna be 90 degrees, but if I have my center line, I'm stepping 45 off that center line and 45 off that center line the other way. Here and here. Keep this going. You can move the hands kind of like you're running. All right, some people will say they need to stay uptight. Right? It's always good to protect yourself, but in my opinion, it's a little bit better to have faster footwork and not get hit at all than to have slower footwork and your hand be up here and you protect yourself by hitting yourself in the face with your own hand, right? So I prefer to pump the arms if it helps me move out of the way and not get hit, all right? So if you can, speed it up a little bit. All right, now let's do the same thing, but a switch step, right? So now this foot's coming in, and before it touches all the way onto that X, my other foot's gonna move. So both my feet are in the air for a split second, but my feet stay close to the ground. I don't know if the microphone's picking it up or not, but I'm making a little bit of a squeaky sound as my feet move, right? So I'm staying nice and close to the ground. My knees are never fully straightened out when I'm doing this. Keep it going. Pick up the pace. We got a few more seconds left. All right, time. So the next one we're gonna do is gonna be our forward triangle. All right, so our reverse triangle, the point is at the back. Forward triangle, can you guess where the point is? So the front, duh, right? So one foot's here, step together, step back. Now I'm still stepping back at that 45 degree off of that center line. You can see my center line, 45. And now this time I'm gonna be pulling my shoulder backwards, just like this. All right, 2 minutes. Ready? Begin. Pull that shoulder back. Pull that shoulder back. 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 Boom. If you wanted to add, say, like a boxing hand application, you can do shoulder rolls. All right, so one hand's protecting the face, that shoulder is up, and the elbow is pointed forward, protecting the body. Boom. Here. Step together and out. Step together and out. Now, keep doing this exact same thing, but we're going to press off of that center line. Press onto that center line, press off of that center line. So all we're doing is elongating this movement. Same thing though. Now I can go back, boom. I can go back this way, right, with my hips squared, boom. As I do that, and kind of have this backward motion. Press off. Keep going. So now we're leaving that center line with that front foot each time. One way, and another way, where that shoulder tucks back. Right, as you can see, there's a lot of different ways to do the exact same thing. Now, I'm not gonna tell you one's right or one's wrong. It's all situational, right? It's only wrong if you're doing footwork and you still get hit. Then that's wrong. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing as before. So we're gonna do our switch step version, right? So one foot comes in and out, but before this foot plants, this foot is gonna be moving back, right? So it's kind of like a switch, right? And that's why it's called a switch step. Now this one's really good for changing the direction that you're looking. Boom, I can cut 90 degrees and change the direction that I'm looking. It's a really good one for Taekwondo time. All right, so that was our reverse triangle. That was our forward triangle. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do Ginga, right? So we learned this in our Capoeira lesson, and we're just gonna practice this motion right here, right? Now, at this point, hopefully you practiced it a little bit more than just what we learned in that lesson. And now maybe you feel a little bit more flowy with it. All right, move around. Practice that Ginga, right? I can cut my angles as I do this. Boom. Keep it going. Do the wide pivot. So I can step and step back. All right, so that's a pivot version from our Ginga. Just our normal Ginga here. As I step squared, instead of stepping this straight back, I step it back and I cut my angle 90 degrees, right? Step back, cut my angle 90 degrees. Play around with this. If all you know right now is just this normal Ginga, just do your normal Ginga. Now get really low with your Ginga, right? Imagine that the ceiling is really low, right? And I can't stand up tall each time, and I want to stay down. All right, so let's do a really low Ginga. You should feel this one. You're gonna feel it in your lower back and some in those quads when you do this. Stay nice and low. Again, the roof is really low. It's falling down on top of us, and so we're staying nice and low. Keep it going. And come up, right? And now put the weight on the back, and then the weight on the front, and the weight on the back. Having this little bit of a lean back each time. 20 more seconds. Some of the time, I'll even hop back and raise that front leg up, right? Maybe I'll have to throw a kick afterwards. And get right back into this motion. Right? Hop back out of the way. Somebody's throwing a kick at you. Ooh, you gotta hop back, escape. And time. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do skipping, right? So our skip is gonna look like this. Back foot to the front, and it replaces this. See this line? I'm not gonna step in front of that line before I go. That's called telegraphing. We're not gonna do that. Back foot just goes to the front. Same thing on the way back. I'm not gonna step back and then move. That back foot stays where it is until this one kicks it out of place. All right, so 1 minute. Right lead. Ready? If you can, have a line or something to practice going and not stepping fast. 1 minute, begin. That foot stays there until this one knocks it out of place. Don't actually hit your own foot, it hurts, especially if you're barefoot. Throw those hips. Throw your hips, right? Where the hips go, the body's going, right? Push those hips forward. Hands are up, nice and relaxed as we're doing this. 30 more seconds, keep it going. Forward and backward with that right lead. Forward and backward. Don't take that telegraphing step first. Just go. Keep it moving, keep it moving. And time. All right, before we switch, I want to show you something. All right, again, on this line, my front foot is starting right behind that line. I want you to see where my back leg ends compared to that line without any sort of telegraphing step. You see how I'm 2 feet in front of that line? Same thing on my way back, right? I'm moving about an extra 2 feet, so it's not just a replacement step. I'm gliding forward, I'm pushing forward, and I have this extra 2 feet of motion, right? Left leg in front, same thing. Ready? Begin. Nice and relaxed, no telegraphing step. Keep it going. Breathe, don't hold your breath. Keep going. We got 20 seconds left. Keep it moving. Keep going, keep going. 5 more seconds. And time. All right, take a breath in. Guys, footwork is super important. You'll notice it in all of these little lessons. Almost every one of them is going to have some sort of footwork pattern to it. Whether I'm using a stick, I'm using nunchucks, I'm punching, I'm kicking, whatever. We need to be able to close that distance or create that distance depending on the scenario. So make sure you do not skip out on your footwork practice. All right, guys, if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, comment, and all the other normal stuff. All right, have a great day. See you next time.